Cryptos were all the way high and now they are all the way down. Should you take this opportunity to invest or just stay away? Keep watching to find out. Hi everyone, I'm Yoram from Economia, your destination for financial independence, tips to invest and spend wisely. Since they came above the horizon, cryptocurrencies are fascinated and scared everybody. What are they? How do you buy and hold them? And more importantly, should you invest in them at all? We'll talk about all of this as soon as you click the like button to help more people to discover this video, and also it would help us a lot. Let's get started. Of course you've heard about cryptocurrencies. Some kids becoming millionaires overnight or even billionaires, and others losing everything because of a scam or just because they were too greedy and didn't sell on time. So is it just a get rich quick kind of scam, or is it something more than that? Let's look into it. First of all, the name cryptocurrency. This comes from cryptography. What's cryptography, you could ask? Let's have a look at this definition. The practice and study of techniques for secure communications in the presence of adversarial behavior. Out of this definition, rooted in mathematical theory, came the underlying technology for everything crypto, and that's called the distributed ledger. What's a ledger, you may ask? Well, you probably heard about it. A ledger, in its simplest form, is a book or a place where you record every transactions and all details of any transactions. Usually in accounting, and it's been going on for a very long time, right? Any store owners has a book to record everything. You know what you did, with whom, for how much money, and when. So it's all good and well, except if it's just in paper form or very basic digital form, it could be forged or it could be stolen. Here, the distributed ledger does not exist in one place. It's distributed, as its name indicates. And every single transaction is actually confirmed and recorded by everybody who participates in this ledger. And I'm making this very, very simple, so everybody who is versed in cryptocurrency is probably pulling his or her hair out right now, but I'm making this very simple. So once you have this ledger, everything is basically confirmed and everything is traceable, and one cannot change a transaction once it's done because everybody sees it and it's recorded, so it cannot be changed, cannot be forged, super sure, and it cannot be taken away because it's distributed around. This is really fascinating because this gives a very high level of security and confidence in the system, if the system is well done, of course. And this has not only application for money or investing. Imagine all the transactions that happen around us all the time. You go buy some food or some clothes, it's a transaction. You buy a house, you buy a car, anything else, a plane ticket, this is a transaction. You get a loan, get a mortgage, you inherit, anything is a transaction. And this basically principle of the distributed ledger can be applied to all of this. And of course, it applies to banking as well. And it's called DeFi, or decentralized finance, right? It's not in one place anymore, one company. It's distributed around everybody, and it makes things faster and more efficient. It's really interesting. All the applications are not there yet. It's not being used everywhere. But there's one place where it's starting to go, besides DeFi, it's traceability of products. Here's an example. For wine, you know where it's been produced, where the bottle has been, and all the way to the shelf. So another way for us consumers to make sure that what we're buying is what it says it is. So quite interesting, and a lot of application in the future. So that's what the blockchain is. That's the name for the distributed ledger, a blockchain, and that's why it could be applied for. So now that we know what the technology is about, what are actually cryptocurrencies? Let's have a look. So what are cryptocurrencies? Basically, digital currencies or tokens or coins that are based on their own ledger or blockchain. There are many of them, but obviously The most well-known one is Bitcoin, created by the legendary and still very mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto in 2009. It was based originally as a peer-to-peer cash exchange system, if you will, and since then it has grown, as we all know. And to be very honest, I heard about it very early on and forgot, or failed to act on it. Too bad for me. Some others got very interested and they even used it to pay immediately, like this guy who probably bought the most expensive pizza in the world. The second largest is obviously Ethereum. This has been created by Vitalik Buterin, who is still very active. And this one is based on its own, obviously, blockchain, with the idea of providing smart contracts and a platform for a lot of applications. And other, actually, currencies are based on it, like Uniswap or Polygon. The third one, that's quite well known, is Solana. It's grown very fast since it's been launched in 2017. It has co-creators like Raj Gokal, put a link down below of one of his recent interviews, very interesting. And its idea is to be a very, very fast blockchain to become a de facto payment system, which is quite very interesting. However, I mentioned it's like a digital currency. As of today, they are still relatively slow in terms of confirming payment and exchanging payment if we compare them to the Visa card, MasterCard, or American Express. So they are still much more considered as an investment still today. Though very fast, they're going to change and become faster. That's what we're expecting and everybody's talking about. However, you can still use it some places. Use your Dogecoin somewhere to buy a coffee, and even Tesla at some point was accepting it as a payment. So a lot of things there. Now if we can go more into details, could talk about proof of work or proof of stakes and the difference between having stable coins and altcoins, but that would become very geeky very fast. I'll put a link down below to the YouTube channel of Andre Gig, who explains it very simply and very nicely, so you can go into details if you want. And actually, lastly, the government are looking into cryptocurrencies to basically launch their own digital money. The US is talking about it, but China actually is the more advanced, and they are thinking about launching and are very close to launching the digital yuan. It has obviously a lot of very much benefits, right? Digital currency faster and also inconvenient, because if it's controlled by the government, then it's not decentralized anymore and you can be tracked, a bit like a credit card actually. So pros and cons, but obviously everybody is very interested. Let's go a bit into detail of where you can buy those and invest into those. So are they worth investing into? First and foremost, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on YouTube, and this is just for entertainment and information purpose. So as for every investment, do your own research, talk to your financial advisor, and make up your mind on your own. This is just entertainment. As I was saying, like for every investment, you need to do your own research and assess the risk, because obviously you could make a lot of money but lose also a lot of money. And cryptocurrencies are relatively a new type of assets, and there is a lot of volatility. Especially recently, you know that start getting into this year, we may have entered what's called the crypto winter, with all the major cryptocurrencies losing a lot of their value. You can look at this chart. For example, Bitcoin, Solana are down, as you can see. Same for Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, which were the darling. And if you had invested in Terra Luna, you've lost everything. Now, big banks like Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, and Morgan Stanley have been recommending to their customers, for which they provide wealth management services, to invest into crypto. And that was back in 2021, so last year, which was a big change for everyone. Why, you would think? Well, this has to do with the overall return of everybody's portfolio. Actually, there's this research from moneygeek.com, and they found out that if you took a portfolio, relatively aggressive portfolio, 70-30 stock to bonds from 2017 and 2021, and you would put only 3% into crypto, the overall return of the whole portfolio would go up 42%. This is massive. However, the volatility would also increase by 18%. So as I said, this is not without risk. But overall, diversifying into crypto seems to be a really good idea to increase the return of the overall portfolio. And that's why banks are getting very interested. Of course, for their own trading and also to offer this service to their customers before they go somewhere else. And actually, there are a lot of DeFi startups there that are doing a good job. That might be one of the reasons the banks are looking into it. Let's continue. How much should one invest for the overall portfolio? Looking at a lot of research online and based also on the moneygeek.com research I was mentioning, it seems that the consensus is around 3 to 5% of your overall portfolio of investment. So, how do you buy and invest in cryptocurrencies? To put it simply, it's a bit like investing in stocks and index funds. There are exchanges where you can go, open an account, get verified obviously, you deposit money, and after you can trade, you can invest, and you can sell. That's the very basic. However, there are thousands of cryptocurrencies, and they are not all listed on the same exchanges. So usually investors have accounts on several exchanges to have access to everything. Mainly, if you look at the biggest in the world, which probably one of those will have access in your market, you have Coinbase, you have Gemini, then you have the big one of China, Binance, which is massive. Then you have also FTX, for example, in the US and globally very big. Here in Japan, where I'm based, you can have the like of DMM, CoinCheck, Bitflyer, Rakuten, and many others. And actually, as of last month, so as of the end of May, early June, now FTX US has bought an exchange that was here, based here, and also I think in Vietnam as well. And now we have FTX Japan just started. So as you can see, many others that you have. And basically, you buy, I say, exchange that. Now, you buy them. Where do they go, right? They are in your wallets, your digital or soft wallets on those exchanges. They are there. And you can, as I explained, buy, sold. And if you sell, you can make a withdrawal. If you want to buy more, you can make a deposit. Very simple, right? However, it's pretty safe, but it's not 100% safe. Some of the exchanges have been hacked very recently ever. And when it's hacked, as we're talking about digital currencies, this get moves very fast around wallets, and you have a big chance, or I should say a big risk, of never seeing your money again. So if you're serious about that, the big recommendation is to actually buy and sell on those exchanges, but do not keep your coins on the exchange, in the exchange on the wallet on the exchange, I should say. You should bring them to a hardware wallet. What's a hardware wallet? It's basically like a USB key or equivalent on which you download, if you will, your coins to keep them. And whenever you want to transact, you connect your hardware wallet to your computer, you go to the exchange and you make your operations there. I do too, actually. I have one here just for you to have a look. Look, this is mine. I think you can see it. It's a Ledger. And actually, Ledger is one of the biggest names there, and the other one is Trezor. You have a lot of different ones, but that's a big recommendation to have a hardware wallet and to keep them in cold storage. That's also a word that's used around. It's password protected, so remember your passwords. Password manager would be a good idea. The reason I'm saying that is a recent article was just saying, and I think it's the Times. If it's not, I put a little correction down here. Is saying that actually 18.5 million bitcoins are lost forever as of today. They are locked into wallets, and those wallets are not accessible anymore because the owner doesn't know the password anymore. And it's based on cryptography, as I was saying earlier. So it's encoded, it's encrypted. There's very little chance to get it. So you may ask now, what do I personally do? Well, again, it's not financial advice. It's just what I personally do, okay? And I'm just sharing the information with you, and you do your own research. It's not an advice again, right? So basically, I started investing in 2015, and I invested in Bitcoin, in XRP, and Ethereum, ETH. That's what it's not now. And I did it there, and here, point, I was doing it, right? Now, I've started to more regularly investing, so I can dollar cost average. So if it goes up or goes down, my basis price stays the same. I try to stay under 5% of my overall portfolio, more 3%. And I don't buy too much Bitcoin, but I continue Ethereum, XRP. I'm still looking at what's happening with the SEC. You may find out that they have some issues with the authorities in the US. So the coin itself hasn't done much for a couple of years. I also invested in Solana, that was mentioning earlier, very interesting, and Cardano, very interesting as well. So those are my main investment that I do regularly. And what I use to invest is actually Bittrex, Bitflyer, and FTX Japan. If you're interested, I put referral links down below. If you want to use them, it's good for you. You get some advantages. I get some advantages as well, and I put in the description box below very clearly what's happening. This is not sponsored, I wish, but no, it's just helping me a bit, and it's helping you as well. So have a look down. Those are my referral codes. Time to sum it up. So cryptocurrencies and the blockchain are here to stay. It's not only cryptocurrencies. We'll see this technology going for everywhere for all our transactions, and I think that's going to make it very interesting. We'll see the governments having their own digital currencies, and maybe more than that, if you invest in it. Again, you have to do your own research, like every investment. Make sure to invest only what you can lose, because there's a lot of volatility, and it's going to be a very tough ride, a rough ride sometimes. Beware of all the scams. Do more research. I would recommend to read the like of CoinDesk or Cointelegraph, which are websites. I mentioned Andre Jake, the YouTuber. You can have a look at it. Also, Kevin Rose has a podcast called Modern Finance. You can have a listen to. And there was recently an interview with one of the co-founders of Solana, and it was on Analyze Asia with Bernard Long. So I'll put the links of all of that in the description box below to help you get started on your research, or learn more if you have already started to just deepen a bit your research. And everything I talked about, you're gonna have all the reference in the description box below. That's it for today. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you would like to hear more about us, click the subscribe button right now. And if you want to discuss, if you have tips, more information, or maybe I made a mistake, leave a comment below. We'll look at it and we'll reply to all of them. That's it for today. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and until next time, bye!